This lesson is about outlining and the hierarchy of ideas. And this is based off of the lesson on essay vocabulary and the composition process. So I'm assuming that you've done that lesson already. If you haven't, you may want to go back and review that before you carry on with this lesson. All right, so what's a hierarchy? A hierarchy refers to the levels of rank or importance that separate individuals, ideas, or objects. So this is kind of the up and down ladder, right? Who's at the top of the ladder, who's at the bottom. For example, in a family, you might have mom and dad at the top of the hierarchy, down eldest sister, youngest sister, the baby brother, all the way down to the dog or the goldfish or something, right? Or in a kingdom, the hierarchy starts with the king, sometimes a queen, but usually the king, and then the lords and the knights, and then the peasants, and all the way again down to the dog or the goldfish. So that's a hierarchy. And so when we talk about the hierarchy of ideas in an essay, what we're really talking about is what part of the sentence, even to the level of a sentence, what part of the essay, though, is at the top. And that's the thesis, right? I mean, thesis is absolutely the most important sentence in the entire essay. If you don't have a good thesis, as you'll hear me say in class, you've got a car without a steering wheel. I mean, the essay really isn't going to go anywhere, or it's going to be out of control. Then the next level of importance in an essay, the next item in the hierarchy of ideas, is your topic sentences, right? And so these are the topic sentences of the body paragraphs. As you know, they need to make a claim as well, a strong argument. This is based on, kind of a standard 4-paragraph essay. Obviously, if there are more body paragraphs, this level would have more boxes in it. And then the next level is the evidence, right? You need factual, textual evidence from research or reading or film or interviews or some kind of outside evidence to support the claims in your topic sentence. And if you don't have that cited evidence from your research, you have a very weak argument, right? I mean, where are those facts coming from? What's the strength of them? How credible and accurate and reliable are they? And that doesn't have to come from outside sources. That could be from research that you actually do yourself, although that's pretty rare in high school. Usually we're doing library research. And then finally, the last level in the hierarchy is the commentary. Remember, your commentary or your analysis, that's where you explain how your evidence supports your topic sentences. And so it's at the bottom, even though it's most of the stuff that's in the middle of your essay. Right, so as we look at an outline here, we kind of actually, looking at the hierarchy of ideas and how do we go about doing an outline, we always want to do the thesis first. You always want to write that thesis first, make sure it answers your driving question or your prompt. Sometimes those driving questions are yours, for example, an independent research project. Sometimes they come from the teacher. But that's what you want to do first. Then you want to do your body paragraph topic sentences next, because those are such important claims. Those connect everything. And they have to directly support the thesis. So I think that's another reason it's really important to write the topic sentences right after the thesis, because then everything's clear in your mind, and that's going to make sure that the body paragraphs connect to the thesis. There's nothing worse than when you start off with a good thesis, your first body paragraph is really clear and accurate and related to the thesis, but by the time you get to body paragraph number 5, body paragraph number 8, if it's a really long paper, you've started to drift away from that thesis. Right? If you do your topic sentences right after your thesis, then you should be able to see in a very clear way how those topic sentences connect to that thesis. Then you lay in the evidence, because you want to make sure you have strong support for the claims in those topic sentences, and then by extension, support for the thesis. And then you go through and write the analysis or the commentary in the body paragraphs. And then finally, the last step, as you know from the previous lesson, is to outline your introduction and conclusion. And I have another lesson in the series here about how to set up introductions and conclusions. They're a little bit different than the connection that exists between the thesis and the body paragraphs. So I want to hold that off for a separate lesson. But, so there's your reminders. You should recognize this slide from the lesson on essay composition and the essay vocabulary and the composition process. And I'm not going to read this to you. You should already have this in your notes, really. So just a quick refresher here. And as always, please edit. And so that's it. Thanks for watching.